Hi everyone, and welcome to And So On Knitting Edition. My name is Lisa, and today it is sweater weather in Sitges. So welcome. If you're new to the channel, thanks so much for dropping by, and if you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back. So I am a Canadian living in Spain, and I live in a town just outside of Barcelona called Sitges. It's a mid-sized town right on the sea, and we had a lot of rain overnight, and so we have sweater weather today, and so I can wear my newest make for you guys. So why don't we jump right into it, and I will start off with my finished object, and it is this beautiful sweater, the Aphra by Isabel Kraemer. And if you guys remember, I did this as a test knit. It was my first sweater test knit, and I absolutely love how this has turned out. Now, if you love this as much as I do, you want to stay through to the end because I am doing a giveaway for this pattern. I asked Isabel if I could give away a copy of the pattern on my channel this week, and she agreed to sponsor that. So thank you so much, Isabel. And yeah, if you wait till the end, I'm going to tell you how you can win a copy of this gorgeous pattern. This is a sport weight sweater, or you could use heavy fingering. So I have used Regia Merino Yak from Schockenmeyer. I'll show you what I have left. So this is the yarn that I use. As you can see, I have quite a lot left. I basically used just less than, I used just less than 3 full skeins, and the reason why I have so much left here is because I had a partial skein already, and so I had to buy a third skein at the last minute, but I only used, I would say, less than half of it. So I'm hoping to actually get a hat out of that, but we'll talk about that later. So this is merino yak as well as some polyamide. It's very soft. I have to say, when I first put it on yesterday, I put it on, when I first put it on to take photographs, I was a little worried that it was gonna pick me around the neck, but it's not. I'm wearing just a plain V-neck t-shirt right now, and I've been wearing it all morning, and it's really, really comfortable. So it has this amazing stitch detail on the front, and what I love about that is that I get lots of interest here lots of interest here. There's lots of interest on the front of the sweater in terms of while you're knitting it as well as wearing it, but then I would get a break as I would go around the back, and so I didn't have to be constantly focusing on this stitch pattern. It looks rather complicated, but it honestly isn't. It's very, very, like, once you get into the habit of it, it's quite easy to do. I can't say that I completely memorized the pattern, but I would definitely, you know, kind of check it here and there, and then there were a couple rows where I didn't have to check it, that kind of thing. So I would say that once you get used to the pattern, it's really quite easy to do. It has a drop shoulder. The only changes that I made to the pattern were I did a folded neckline. This is my first double folded neckline. So I knit double the height, I think even a little more than double the height. I did a purl bump row in the middle. So I think it was like 4 centimeters purl row, another 4 centimeters, and then I folded it to the inside and attached it. So this is at the very end because you pick up for the neck at the end. So I can try and link you up to a tutorial that I used for that. But I love it. Because for me, I don't like a neckline that goes too open and then you can see whatever is underneath. I like a more closed neckline. So in this case, that worked out really well. And I also bound off using the, every time I forget the name of this cast off, I'll put it there. Every time I forget the name of it, I use that both times. And so the edges are really nice and, you know, curvy, and it gives you just like that really, really nice edge. I made the size 2. It's quite roomy. It's not oversized, but it definitely has a good amount of ease. And yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. Oh, I had to go down a couple needle sizes, but hang on. I'm gonna tell you later. Just after having a revolution in my knitting, I have a second revolution, and this one's even better. And so I have fixed my gauge. But in this case, I was still knitting continental with my quite loose gauge, and so I ended up going down 2 needle sizes. So this is supposed to be on a 4.0, and I went down actually to a 3.0. So actually, I think that's even more than 2 sizes. I'll double check and write below exactly the difference. So I went down quite a bit, but I'm really happy with the quality of the fabric. It drapes really nicely. It's not too loose. It's not too firm. Yeah, I really, really like it a lot. I have one other FO, and this is a pair of socks. So I'm participating in the Joji Locatelli fall knit along that she does every year. And I think I told you that I was gonna make these socks. So here they are. These are the Indigo Leaves socks from Joji Locatelli. They are a DK weight sock. I ended up making these for my daughter, so they are slightly too small for me. I'll put in a picture so you can see that this is me wearing them, but they fit her perfectly. So these are, you know, more house socks, lounge socks. These are really her color, so she really, really loves them. So last time I told you that I'd made these before and I showed you a sock, and I said they look very different because I didn't do them well. Well, that's true, but those are not the same pattern. So if it looked really, really different, that's why. I totally made a mistake. I'll put in a picture of the first time I made these. I made them in Patton's Croy, and it was a fingering weight instead of DK weight, and so I had to do a repeat, like do many more repeats of the pattern in order to make the socks. They actually turned out fairly cute. They are back in Toronto, so I haven't seen them in 2 years now, but I'm assuming that they're just fine, all cuddled up in the storage unit. But these turned out really, really great, and I have to say they're my favorite pair of socks. Okay, so how have I corrected my gauge? I think I told you guys last time, I did, that I joined the Patreon of Stephanie Purl McPhee on the advice of Eric from Sticks Twine. And when I joined the Patreon, I went on and I saw the first post, which was called "Are You Two Something?" And I didn't really know what that was referring to, but I wanted to watch from the beginning, of course, like a series, right? So I basically reordered the videos to watch from the very beginning. That's how I ended up doing her sock class, and I really like the socks that I made, but I did still feel that they were not quite perfect, and I kind of went on and on about that last time. So one day recently I was looking at it again, and I read the down bar description of that "Are You Too Something" video, and it turns out it was "Are you too loose or are you too tight?" Literally what I needed to know was right there, but I thought, no, I'm going to go back to the beginning. And so I could have had this information sooner. So I went into that video, and literally in 5 minutes, my gauge was corrected. What was the problem? So the problem is that as I was knitting, I'll try and put in a video here of what I used to knit like. And what I would do is after each stitch was made, I would hold on to that stitch to make sure that it didn't fall off the needle, to make sure that it stayed in place, and then I would create the next stitch. And by doing that, I was creating a space between the stitches, which created excess yarn, which would then disperse into the stitch before and after and make that stitch larger than was intended. And by doing that every single time, I was adding extra yarn to every single stitch. So the funny thing is I felt like I was holding things tighter, right? Because I was like holding things in place and trying to really like create my tension. And that was exactly what was causing my problem. So I'm going to put in another picture here of 2 swatches that I did. So one of the swatches is on a 1.75 millimeter needle, and I think it's 7 stitches per inch. And so that's a smaller needle. And then the second one is using a 2.25 millimeter needle, and I'm getting 9.5 stitches per inch. So larger needle, but still a much tighter gauge. And that is just from making that one change. So if you're having problems with your gauge, do a little research. Someone did say to me, have you researched trying to switch your gauge? And I thought it was all about the tension that I was creating as a continental knitter, but it wasn't that. And I was hesitant to try and make my knitting tighter through the tension because I already have tension in my hands when I'm knitting. And so I just kind of decided, oh, I'll just deal with it or figure it out. And in the end, you know, I was able to fix it like that. So I highly, highly recommend her Patreon. As I'm going through, I'm getting tidbits left, right, and center. It's so great. But that's what was happening. So this pair of socks, these are DK weight socks, are the first socks that really, really have that negative ease, hug the foot. And you know what I've done? Let me show you. So I have frogged the sock that I showed you guys last time. This with the Olin yarn. I frogged it because I know I can do better. And before I make the second sock, I want to redo the first sock. And now with my new tension, my new gauge, so that swatch was with this yarn, and I'm gonna do it all over again. And I have high, high hopes that I can take my sock knitting to a more, well, just make my socks fit better. Please, that would be nice. So in terms of the yarn for this, I used Rosario's Cuatro, Merino for Us. This is a superwash merino, Spanish made, 50 grams. I have a good chunk left, and I'm gonna use this for a baby hat. I have a friend who's having a baby coming up, as I had said, and so I think I might have enough here for a newborn hat, I'm hoping. But this was great, and I'm gonna tell you where I got that in a little bit in the acquisition section, okay? Yeah, so a little later I have coming up where I got that yarn, and that is at a wonderful shop in Barcelona, and I'm gonna take you yarn shopping with me in Barcelona, so hang on for that. Okay, 2 works in progress. The first one is the other test knit I've been doing. This is the Clove Sweater by Rachel Kurahara, and which is Rachel Knits Things. So I have made a fair amount of progress on this. I have finished the front, so you split for the hem, and I've finished the front hem. So now, and I obviously finished the body. So now I just need to do the back hem and then pick up for the sleeves, which should be fairly easy. And I have until October 18th to get this done. So I've given myself, I finished the front ribbing on the hem yesterday, and so I'm giving myself a day or 2 off since I don't have to rush to get it done. The yarn is, so this is the yarn. It's Schachenmeyer Merino, what do they call it? Merino Mix and Knit Merino Extra Fine 120. And I got this from Las Tijeras Mágicas, like I told you guys. It's not, I think it's coming out quite white and black here. It's really more of kind of an off-white oatmeal beige than it is a white. But I'm loving the marled effect. It's very soft. It's a little heavier than this. So the way it's spun, I guess, is worsted spun versus woolen spun. Don't ask me which is which. But yeah, so I have to obviously do the sleeves and do the neck, but I'm feeling confident that I'm gonna be able to finish this for the deadline, no problem. And then my other work in progress is the Esther vest by CamijoKnit. And if you don't follow her here on YouTube, she's got a great channel. She is in Denmark, and actually she just went to the Fenu Fiber Festival and gave a big tour of that, so that was kind of fun. And she's a great designer, wonderful designer. I love her her Advent series, like her December vlog. I don't watch a ton of those because I find it overwhelming to watch so many videos every single day. But I picked hers and I watched her whole one, and I really enjoyed that. Now this is for my daughter Lily, and Lily was, you know, when I showed this to her, because I couldn't find, you know, that the yarn for her cardigan, I suggested this to her, and she really, really likes it. So I'm going to stretch it out. It's a DK weight. Well, it's 2, I think it's fingering held with mohair, but Lily runs hot, so I'm not going to do that. But this is how far I have got so far. So what I've done is I've just omitted the cables from the back. You're supposed to do it all the way around. So I started this 2 days ago, so it's coming along really, really well. I think I'm gonna have enough yarn. The cables are actually really easy because they all go the same direction. So after doing the socks that kind of went all different directions, this is really simple, and she really likes it. I'm using the Knit Crate Audine Wool's Twinkle DK, which was a collaboration with Christy Glass. This is 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% stellina, 100 grams, 250 yards. So I have 1 more of these, and so far, how much do I have left? I have this much, and I've gotten this far. So I think I'm gonna be able to squeak it out. Worst comes to worst, I can do the ribbing at the neck and armholes in something else, but I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to get through it. I'm doing it on the recommended needle size. I find cables really relaxing. I don't know, is that just me? Because you're not doing something every round, as opposed to like a color work yoke. You're having to constantly every single round do something different, or every single round be very aware. Whereas this, I only have to pay attention every 10 rows. And even in this case, because they're all the same, I don't even have to pay attention every 10 rows. I know what I do is at the beginning of the round, after I've done one, so here's my beginning of round. After I've done 2 or 3 stitches, I put this on the first round after the cable. So this becomes indicative of round 1. And I know that round 10, I have to do another cable. So then I can count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When I get to 9, I know that the next round is my cable. And that's been working really well for me. Yeah, I think they're really cute. I'm really looking forward, like the cables are just so sweet and pretty and classic, and she's really excited about it. So yeah, I think that's gonna go really quickly. I am participating in the fall finish along by Eric from Sticks Twine. I'll put the hashtag down here. Head over and see his channel to see some of the things that he's been finishing. So I have a couple more things to add into the finish along, but for the moment, I think I've done pretty well so far. Yeah. So in terms of plans, with this leftover, I think I'm gonna do a hat, and I might use some of this leftover mohair I have from Knitting for Olive. I've got brown, I've got cream. So I could do either, I could do both. I do find mohair quite picky, especially on my forehead. Although, yeah, no, I don't think I don't think I want it on my forehead. So I think what I might do is do the brim just alone and then add the mohair for the top of the hat, therefore giving me a little more warmth. I think, I don't know, I'll do a swatch and I'll kind of, have you seen the thing where people make a swatch and then they wear it like inside their shirt or on their, or like inside their hat to see if it picks before they, I don't know. I mean, I can't exactly walk around with a swatch on my forehead, so, but I could lie there and watch TV and like just have it sitting there. Something like that, we'll see. I'm worried I'm talking too fast. I am, aren't I? Yeah, I talk very fast. My daughter talks very fast. I think I worry that I'm gonna bore you if I talk too slowly. And it's funny because yarn knitting podcasts, how people talk for an hour and a half, I have no idea. Like, it's kind of amazing. And I kind of feel like, come on, pick it up, let's go, move. And then I end up talking too fast. So I will try and take it down a notch. Okay, now is the time for me to take you on a little tour of Barcelona. My husband and I spent a night at a hotel in Barcelona last week, 2 weeks ago, for our 18th wedding anniversary. It was our first night away from Sitges in 2 years. We left the kids with a friend and we went into town. We had a lovely dinner and a brunch, and it was only 24 hours, but it was really, really nice. And on the second day, I went to a yarn shop. So I'm gonna take you on a little tour and then I'll show you what I got. All right, I hope that you enjoyed that. And so the first thing I got was the Rosarios Cuatro for the socks. So you've already seen those. The other thing I picked up as a little treat were two La Bien-Aimée minis. It's very similar color. I guess I'm on a teal turquoise kick. So these are BFL Tough Sock, 75% BFL, 25% nylon. This is the color Hegelia, and this is the color Amege. Amege? There's no accent, but Amege, A-M-E-G-E. Yeah. So I think with these, I might do a pair of pixelated socks. Pixelated from Purl Soho. I believe it's a free pattern. I believe it is. I have it in my library already, either way. So I've thought of trying these before, but hadn't really wanted to do like they're fairly complicated, but I just think these two next to each other in a pixelated sock, I'll put in a picture. I think that would look really, really cool. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but we shall see. So that's my plan for those beautiful La Bien-Aimée skeins. I'm actually waiting for Barcelona Knits, which is at the beginning of November. They are going to have a virtual Barcelona Knits, and I can put the link in for that as well. And they do have some amazing dyers, and they promise that there's going to be some good sales. So I'm going to wait on that before I make any other purchases. I do, though, have one sweater that I'm kind of thinking on, actually two, by Anne Wenzel, and I'll put in a picture with the name here. I have this thing, I want like a big oversized striped sweater. So I'm kind of thinking on that. So that's kind of in my plans. But right now, I just really want to finish off everything I have. I have a vest to finish. I have a scarf to finish. So you'll see those as active works in progress next time. But yeah, for the moment, I'm trying to hold off and not get cast-on-itis. Okay, so now to the giveaway. If you follow me as a sewer as well as a knitter, you might know that in the past I have often done giveaways, and what I've done is featured lesser known vloggers to kind of give them as well, like pay it forward, give them a little kick. I know that when you're first starting out, or if you're not having a lot of viewers, sometimes it can feel like you're just talking to your phone or your camera and you're not really, you know, reaching out to people. And so it's always nice to get a little kick. And so I've picked a chunk of lovely new vloggers or new to me vloggers, I should say. I have no idea how long they've been vlogging, but new to me vloggers who I feel deserve more viewers, more subscribers, more comments. So how to win a copy of the Aphra is I'm going to put a little clips coming forward of some of my favorites. I'm going to link them below. And if you would please go over and leave someone some love. Good karma, leave a bunch of them some love. Like, subscribe, comment, anything really. And then on our system, come back and tell me who you visited, who you liked, if there was somebody new, if there was someone that you've already been watching for a while. Just let me know that you've gone over and given someone some love, and then I will enter you to win a copy of the Aphra. I will basically give 2 weeks for this, because until I vlog again about my knitting in about 2 weeks, I'll put the date below that I'll choose where you can, up until when you can enter. And then the key is you have to come back. You have to come back for my next knitting edition, because that's when I'm going to announce the winner. And I really can't contact people on YouTube other than responding to a comment. And I found in the past that a bit of a challenge. So please do come back if you enter the giveaway. I hope that you would love to win a copy of the beautiful Aphra sweater. I have to say, it is an absolute dream to knit. Okay guys, that's all for me today. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all my knitting. I hope that you're really going to enjoy this next chunk of vloggers. Go over, give them some love, make their day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Cool. I think we're good to go. Welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, thank you for checking it out. This is Hanging On by a Thread, a podcast about all the fiber related things that I do, mostly knitting. And my name is Silja, and if this is Levenwick by Gudrun Johnson, and I've shown that before. I didn't particularly plan talking about this because I wanted to show off this garment today. It's just I've been wearing it a lot lately, and then of course if I'm wearing it a lot, that deserves a mention, right?
Hi, my name is Talya and I am coming to you from Denmark, and this is my knitting podcast. Normally I'm recording every 2 weeks, but last week I figured out that I had too much projects and I even forgot one to talk about, so I will talk about it today. And I decided to put markers every day how much I can actually do. So as you see, like here I was Monday, that's how I make Monday. This is Tuesday, then Wednesday,
If you don't know me, I'm Deanna. I'm a master knitter living in Okinawa, Japan. And that is what this channel is all about. It's all about the knitting and it's all about the life here in Okinawa. Enjoyed working on it. And as always, when I am getting paid, I knit like the wind. I take it very seriously and I just work exclusively on this project until it is done.
Hi everyone! Welcome to episode 11 of Annijuuti Knits knitting podcast. My name is Annina and I come to you from Finland, where I live with my husband and my 2 boys. The next thing that I am going to show you are my woolly leggings, and they have not grown too much, but I have done some progress on the legs. So here I was the last time we spoke, where the
Hey fiber folks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and this is episode 5 of the High Fiber Knitting Podcast. This is my Monica Geller tee by Sari Nordland. And this came off the needles and was finished blocking less than a week ago. If you follow me on Instagram.
Hello and welcome back to Balance Skein. My name is Kendra and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about all the things I make with yarn and other yarny related topics. But this is the My Little Secret crop top by Jessie Mae Designs. Yeah, I used more of the yarn, these 2 just in case, and I figured worst case scenario, I would do some type of color blocking for the pattern to be able to finish it off if I did.
So, hello and welcome to episode 4 of my Cup of Yarn podcast. My name is Clara and I'm a knitter based in South Moravia, which is a region in the Czech Republic. So that's the project I'm currently working on, and that's what I have so far. It's 4x4 rib, and again I did the tubular cast on, and the construction is bottom up.
Hi and welcome. Welcome if you are here for the first time, and welcome back if you've been here before. I'm really happy to have you here. My name is Teti and I'm a knitwear designer. I'm sharing here things that inspire me and works in progress, new designs, all things knitting related. Beautiful cinnamon color, really nice textured yoke, and a nice little detail on the hem. Yeah, something that I've been working on in July.
Hello, and welcome to the Thoughtfully Made podcast. This is a fiber podcast where we talk about all things making. My name is Amy, I'm your host. I'm a sewist, a knitter, a spinner, and what else do I do? I design patterns for knitting, so we call the boba time socks. It would be nice if I got the name of my own patterns, right? I've talked about these a lot before, so I won't go on forever about it, but thank you all for the very warm welcome for the boba time socks. They're doing really well.
Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Northward Knitter. My name is Heather, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Northward Knitter. And I think fall is definitely here in the Yukon. I'm looking out my window and I am seeing some clouds. A finished sweater. So I was a little bit worried that this sweater was turning out a little bit big, because once I started attaching the yoke, I think I made it a little bit long, and I think the sleeves, I felt like the sleeves were a little bit long, but I really like how it turned out. I like